Well, when I add up all the numbers here, the solution is 3,000. So what I'm going to do in each one of these categories now is divide that number by 3,000. And that's going to tell me what percentage of the graph each is. So we'll just do a couple of these. So I'm going to take the groceries category, which is 400, and divide that by 3,000. And when I do that, 400 divided by 3,000 yields me a result of 0.13 with the 3 repeating. If I take the utilities category, 330, and divide it by 3,000, 330 divided by 3,000 yields me a result of 0.11. Okay, and you'll do that for the whole list. Divide each one by 3,000. Now, that tells me what percentage of the circle that category is going to cover. Now what you want to do, since you know a circle, if one full revolution is 360 degrees, you're going to multiply here by 360. Because when I multiply by 360, that's going to tell me the number of degrees that sector there is going to consume in the circle. So when I take the first one, that 0.13 with the 3 repeating, and multiply that by 360, the result there is going to yield 48 degrees. So when I know I go to make the grocery sector of my circle graph, I want to make sure that that consumes 48 degrees. When I go to do the utility sector, I'm going to take my 0.11 and multiply it by 360, and the result is 39.6. So when I go to measure out my utility sector on my circle graph, I'm going to make sure it consumes 39.6 degrees. And again, after you've divided each one of these by 3,000, you'll have a number multiplied by 360. That will tell you how many degrees it consumes. So as we come back to take a look here at our circle graph here, here is your circle graph. We can point out the 2 sectors we've made here, or the 2 sectors we've calculated here on that previous page. We figured out that groceries measured out to be 48 degrees of the circle, which is the very first one here. As you know, this is logical, not only because it is 48 degrees based on measurement, but because just looking at it, it looks like 48 degrees. This here, an L shape, so these two roughly together make that L shape there. Those two together consume about 90 degrees. You know, about half of that would be 45, which would be about there. This is 48, so it's got to be a little bit bigger than that. That logically even looks like 48, not just based on measurement, but just based on appearances here. Utility sector is 39.6 degrees. It's going to be a little less than that 45 degree cut. Indeed, it does look to be a little less than that 45 degree cut, so that's good here. All right, so what the question is asking me is what 2 sectors added up here equal 20%. So as you can see, they have listed here the percentages, which is what we had found on the previous page. When we did groceries, we found that the solution was 0.13 with the 3 repeating. If we change that to its percentage form, 13.3 repeating percent, moving the decimal twice to the right, and we can repeat that process for any sector we want. Utilities, we came up with 0.11 would be 11%. As we have everything now as a percentage now, it's really easy because we're just looking for the 2 segments that add up to make 20%. And as you can see, as we add the auto and the savings sectors, those 2 add up to make 20% of the graph. You could also do the same thing with here, as they're talking about with the entertainment category. The entertainment category here with either one of those adds up to make